Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the It's in Queens podcast, which is actually covering events in the borough from September 12th to September 19th.
There you go.
Some of you might say, wait, that's 8 days.
8
That's
days.
not a week.
Yeah.
Well, we'll find if
You know-
stay tuned and watch the rest of this program. You'll find out why we have this special.
I believe the Beatles did say 8 days a week.
The
So
Beatles, that's right. This is the special Beatles edition of the It's in Queens podcast. As always, I'm Rob Mackay from the Queens Tourism Council. To my left is main man Chris Donovan.
my main man.
Old Queens accent, it would be Donovan, Chris Donovan.
Yeah, Donovan was my teachers called me.
They called you Donovan?
Yeah,
That's
Donovan.
old
Mr.
Queens.
Donovan.
Yeah, in fact, people still talk about Donovans in Woodside.
Oh,
They
yeah.
call that
Yeah,
Donovan.
yeah.
Anyway, this is Chris Donovan
I am.
from the Queens from the New York Daily News,
Yep.
and also representing New Queens with his Donovan last name.
That's right. Now it's Donovan.
Yeah. So we have a really good week. I'm happy to say.
Yeah, we were short on events for a little bit, and the summer kind of
Yeah.
threw us off a little bit, but we're back in the swing.
I kind of feel like they talk. Cali, Colombia. They say
Oh, yeah.
it's the capital of salsa music.
Sure.
They have an annual festival, salsa festival, and the joke down there is that after the festival ends, the party continues just like it always does.
And look at
There's
that.
always great music, happy people having fun. I kind of feel like that this week because we just had 2 weeks of the U.S. Open.
That's right.
And
Little
Queens is coming
controversy,
back.
right?
A little controversy, but still, it's a
Good
major
times, though.
major sports. I would say after the World Cup and the Olympics, it's probably the
It's
biggest
up there, yeah,
2-week
absolutely.
event. And after hosting that, Queens comes right back at you. The party continues on
That's it.
with all kinds of salsa music. One of the biggest news thing is that the Inner Mongolia Performing Arts Center. Let me sure I got that. Performing Arts Troupe
All right.
is making its first ever visit to New York City.
Wow, and they're making it in
And
Queens.
of course,
I like it.
yep. Now, they will be giving a concert at Flushing Town Hall on September 15th. Now, they're going to be doing all kinds. Remember, Mongolia is the steppe. It's the grasslands.
Okay.
And so they have all these they have something called long tone Mongolian throat singing and music called by horsehead fiddles. And of course all kinds of dancing from the steppe. So this is, and I've seen photos of the colorful outfits that they wear, and it looks
Something
like
else.
it's like something that you've never seen before.
That's cool.
Not only are they performing on the 15th, the Queensboro Dance Festival. Now,
Oh, still going.
followers
still
of
going.
this program know that the Queensboro Dance Festival has actually been going on throughout Queens, presenting dance throughout Queens. They're having their big sort of finale on both September 13th and 14th.
Needed 2 days. It's
Yep,
such a big
2
event.
days.
Yep.
Yep, they've had 26 dance troops, I believe.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're having, I believe, 6 dance troops on the 13th and 6 on the 14th at, what's called Hunters Point Park South, Hunters Point South Park, Long Island
That's the
City
new one?
Landing, right on the
Is that the
water.
new one?
Yeah, no, it's
Newish.
it's LIC Landing.
Oh, it's LIC Landing. Okay,
Landing.
I know what that is.
And the Inner Mongolia Performing Arts Troupe will be at the first one,
Okay.
and
So
then
there'll be,
so they're out. So actually, they're having
September
2
13th
gigs,
at
September
Queensboro
13th
Dance
and September 15th.
15th.
They're here on a 2-week
And
bender
they need the
in the United
14th.
States.
They
and
need
they're-
14th to take a break, maybe.
I guess,
after
yeah.
dancing.
But remember, the Queensboro Dance Festival, all the other dance troops are local.
Now, is
And,
that dance festival a free event on the 13th and 14th?
well, I think it's free, but there are also VIP tickets in front that
Good.
include
You
like
should,
food.
yeah,
and
then
a
support
chance.
them and buy the VIP tickets.
Yeah.
Come on.
And like I said, the Inner Mongolia. Go to our website. You can see the photo of them performing with these things on
You
their
send
head.
it to our.
I'll Tukupai, maybe you can put up that photo. Yeah. So that's really kind of cool. It also we've also got. So Sean Choi, who is one of
Flushing
the
Town
promoters
Hall.
for
Yep.
Flushing Town Hall, he told me
He's
that.
in Korea right now, I think.
Oh,
right?
is he?
Yeah.
Well, he told me via email that they've got their biggest thing this weekend. They're kicking off their fall series, and they're doing it on the 14th. Obviously, they're hosting Mongolian dance on the 15th. On the
course.
14th, they've got La Patronal. I think it's fair to say that in rural areas, sort of throughout Latin America, they have these fiestas patronales, which are, a festival. They do their dance and music festivals where people play music. Yes, big Mexico ranchera music. Anyway, the big group from Peru is coming,
Nice.
and they're gonna be doing all kinds of Peruvian music, Andean music. It has the panpipes.
I like those. Yeah.
It has great dancing, vibrant bass, contagious percussion, and so that's kind of cool. It also kicks off the fall series. We'll talk more about Flushing Town
Yeah, it's
Hall
gonna be a
stuff
lot
going
of
forward,
yeah,
but
a lot of events.
a
Coming
lot
up
of
there.
events representing a lot of different cultures.
Yeah, I mean,
which is kinda
look
cool.
at that. Just in 2 days, they have Peru and Indonesia.
They got Peru and Mongolia.
Mongolia, sorry.
Yeah. So now I'll tell you why we started on September 12th instead of September 13th.
Tell me, give it to me. Lay it
It's
down.
not because we're superstitious about. It's just that Thalia Spanish Theater
Yep, in Sunnyside.
in Sunnyside on Greenpoint Avenue, they are doing an adaptation of a play by Federico Garcia Lorca, which was the play's called El Público, which I guess you would translate as
Public.
the audience.
Okay.
The people who go to the events, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
And so this is a play that's based on true events in his life. Now, I don't know you know about it. He wrote Blood Weddings. He was a poet and playwright in Spain, full of
Your
the
best bet is
emotion.
to assume I know nothing. If you start
Okay.
there, you'll never be disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Federico Garcia Lorca is known for his really emotional plays.
Okay.
They really get you. They hit you.
Yeah.
So this
He's
is
like an emo playwright.
an emo playwright. Yeah. This is an adaptation. It's in Spanish with English super titles. Now you know super titles.
No, give it to me.
Aren't super titles the ones that come up instead of just they're
Well,
the ones
subtitles are
that
the ones that
come
are
up,
on the bottom
These
of the
are
screen.
these are the ones that come up on screen.
On the top of the
Yeah.
screen. Okay.
Yeah. Isn't that right? Am I wrong?
well,
Super
what-
titles.
who-
Tukupai, you know everything. Oh my gosh, look at this.
Super title.
Yeah, super
All right.
titles.
So it's the language being spoken in the play is in
Spanish.
but you will be able to understand
Follow it if you don't, and
if
you won't
can
have
read.
to, and you won't have to be looking like
Looking
that,
at a book, yeah.
or you
The
won't
old
have stuff
headphone
in your
jammies,
headphones. You'll
right.
be able to. So that's kind of fun, and
That's cool.
it starts on the 15th. It's five different performances, and so personally, if you ever get a chance to see Blood Weddings, which is another one he did, Bodas de Sangre, that's it. It's
Now, would that you think it would be available like on? Is it like a?
no, like if they ever come back, if you ever get a chance
okay.
to see the play,
Gotcha.
or, they
Do you
might
think
have done.
Do you think they've done a movie
I
about the
would
play or no?
I think you got to see it live.
Okay.
I think there's a difference between seeing it live and the movie.
They say that about my singing as well. Yeah, if you got to see that.
Karaoke. Yeah,
You got to be there for that. It's an experience.
There's also on the September 13th another a series. Hamlet comes to the Secret
nice.
Theater. The Secret Theater. It's really not a secret.
No, it's out. There.
It's
They're
from
doing the LIC Arts Open now, or is that over?
as far as I can tell, I don't know anything
I
about that.
thought I saw
but-
something about that.
Oh, okay. So it's a 4-person cast doing Hamlet. It's a modern day kind of funky one.
Adaptation?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says right here, Prince Hamlet seeks to revenge his father's murder, but he must sacrifice his love, his life, and perhaps his very mind to accomplish it.
Uh-huh.
So it's from September 13th to September 30th. So you got plenty of time to see.
13th to the 30th. Okay.
But it
good
kicks
times.
off. It kicks off this time. Yeah.
Nice.
Also, I was thinking, this is something that's kind of surprising to me. Do you know when the world's first video game was invented?
I want to say it was Pong in the 60s.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
I would have said Pong in the 80s or
no.
70s. I would have said.
I
Pong
remember.
in the 80s.
I remember. This is what I remember about Pong.
Uh-huh.
It was available in the 70s because we used to go to this dude ranch, and it had a tabletop version of Pong, and I remember all the
Oh.
cigarette butt stains in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Where
which was
the
the
dude
70s.
ranch?
Like upstate
Montana?
New York.
Upstate Dude
Yeah,
Ranch.
yeah.
That's where when you were a kid you went.
Yeah, like what's that? Lake George area.
Oh, Lake
Yeah,
George.
Yeah. One was called Sit and Bull. You get it? You get
Uh-huh.
it? Sit and Bull. And the other one's 1,000 Acres.
And your family used to go there a lot.
Yeah, we went there for like 4 consecutive summers. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Learning
yeah.
some secrets about Chris
Oh, yeah.
Donovan.
I'm a professional horse rider. I can
What
ride
did you do over there? Did you
horse
lasso
riding?
anything?
We did not lasso. We did horse riding, and then they would have activities.
And Pong.
Pong for sure, but and then ping pong.
All
The kid
right.
activities had, swimming and basketball, baseball,
Oh,
and
okay.
we'd put on a play at the end of the week.
Maybe we should get a photo of you on a horse when you were like 10 years old.
I got that somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Anyway, the first video game was called Tennis for Two, and it debuted at the Brookhaven National Laboratory in 1958. Believe it or
Oh,
not.
all right. I wasn't
Sounds
too
like
off.
tennis for two. Sounds
Like
kind
Pong.
of like Pong.
Yeah, all right.
Brookhaven is way out on Long Island.
Sure.
Anyway, if it was in 1958, now we're 2018. That means that we're celebrating.
Wait. 60th anniversary.
60th anniversary. Math is hard, but not for Chris Donovan,
Me.
the Dude Ranch man.
Yeah.
The Dude
The
Ranch dude.
man. I love it.
Anyway, so there's the Museum of the Moving Image is opening up an exhibit on September 14th. It's actually going to run until March 10th of next year.
Oh wow, so it's
But
a long time.
Yeah, it's about the 30 games, video games that simulate tennis, football, track and field, basketball, baseball, soccer, and esports. Or is that called S-sports?
No, esports is
Esports is what it's called.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you want to go and see like the history of video sports games.
I know somebody who might be interested in.
Yeah, your son.
Yeah, right. Exactly right.
I tell you, I don't know if is 1958 when they invented tennis for two. Was that the beginning of the end or the beginning of the glorious?
No, I think I'm not so sure video games have done much for the
a
culture.
sign of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've wasted so much time on video games.
You wasted a lot of time on who hasn't really?
I know.
A couple of other things. We have two great things that are coming back.
Okay.
The NYC Honey Festival in the
Oh,
Rockaways.
Yeah. Honey was just
I've
in
been
the
to that.
news for the Jewish holidays because I guess they use honey.
Oh, honey for the sweetness
Yeah,
of
for
life.
the sweetness. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is the 8th annual fest. It's right along the boardwalk. It's a bonanza that unites bees, beach, beers, and bites.
Oh, okay.
Is that
That's
very
a lot
good?
of bees.
All
Yeah.
right. Anyway,
That's
there's a bee
beautiful.
marketplace. There's a marketplace where you can buy all kinds of anything that comes in bee. You want to get a bee salt and pepper shaker.
Oh, okay.
You
can go-
towel, maybe lampshade or something. You can get it all there. There's a honey tasting competition. Costume contest, so you can see people who like to get dressed up as bees.
Now, will somebody be performing "No Rain" by Blind Melon? Because that little bee girl was in that video.
Wow, I don't know.
That's deep cut.
I'm not going to
It's a
make
deep
that
cut.
promise.
All right.
And there's also they show you they have bees and combs, and you can see how you extract.
There's literally nothing that scares me more than a bee or a wasp or
Really?
Yeah, I'll frightened to death
Wow.
of those things. Yeah.
Did you know that New York City has a bee police officer?
Yes.
The NYPD. Oh,
Yes,
you
the
did?
Daily News has reported on him
Yes,
quite
you
a
had,
bit. Yeah.
The bees attacked a hot dog stand
That's
the other day,
right,
and the
that's
NYC bee police officer
yeah,
Wednesday.
come back, yeah.
Well, you will have the chance to meet that
Ah,
officer
all
if you
right.
go to the NYC Honey Fest on Saturday, on the
Very
15th.
specific job, right?
Yeah, I wonder, like, do you take a test? Is the waiting list like how do you get to be the bee officer? I don't know. Also,
I see a
Viva
documentary in his future.
Viva la Comida.
Ah, that's back, 82nd
That's
Street.
back too on 82nd Street.
Yep.
That's of course tons of food, mostly Latin food,
Yes.
but also a great atmosphere.
Well, the best
and-
part about Latin food, you're talking about you can have 15, 20 different countries and still
yeah.
be all
oh,
Latin
they're all
food.
completely
Yeah.
different.
And they're all
great-
different.
yeah. And-
Although there's a lot of chicharron, which is a very
Which is good
thing.
too.
Absolutely. Nothing like a little
15
pork,
different
pork
kinds of
fatback.
chicharron.
Yeah, exactly.
The event, I don't know how many years it's been going on, but
I definitely I want to say 5.
would you put it at 5?
Yeah, I want to say 5.
There's also a lot of art and
You know what? I'm
music.
gonna say 5.
You're gonna say 5?
Even though it might be wrong. We'll find
Okay.
out later.
One of the
Good
coolest
music,
things
too.
about this year, there's
do you
always
got?
good music. One of the coolest things about this year is a performance called Salsa Masala. There's an artist here in Queens named Neil Paducone who performs. It's basically a mashup. I guess the modern term would be a mashup
I like it.
of Indian music and Latin music.
I was wondering
Sitars
Masala
and
had to come in there.
Salsa Masala.
Yeah.
This guy's out of this world awesome. And he'll be performing during the festival. I have right here, he goes on at 3:30. The festival is from noon to 7 on the 15th. He goes on
Noon
at
to
3:30.
7. Mark your
Roosevelt
timers.
Avenue and 82nd Street.
Yeah.
So that, you know who was telling me he's great is Ann O'Connor.
Oh, Ann O'Connor's a great
Who's got
tastemaker.
she's got her finger on the pulse of Queens
Oh,
artists.
that's
And
very
she's
true.
like, you got to see this guy. He's amazing.
Well, if Ann said it. That's an Ann stamp of approval.
Yep,
We should
it's good
definitely get
enough
that
for
out
us.
there. Oh, that's good for me.
I would also say there's another annual celebration, and it's at Queens Botanical Garden. It's the Rose celebration.
Nice.
You know how they have different
Yeah,
celebrations.
they did the orchids.
They had the
over the summer.
orchids.
Yeah.
So this is one of those things where all kinds of First of all, roses everywhere. Rose, 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 rose. And we all know that there are
Rose by
many,
another
many.
name.
Yeah, there are many different kinds of roses. So all kinds, workshops, family-friendly activities, arts and crafts, photo session, tours. And actually, a good friend of mine, whose name is Marta Hernandez, who's from Seville, Spain,
Mm-hmm.
plays Spanish music. She has a group called Marsala. She will be performing at the end of the day, probably about 4.
Okay.
And she's awesome.
Oh,
Flamenco
Castellanos?
music.
Yeah.
She's from Seville. She is
The
Seville.
real deal. Should have
Yeah.
a dancer accompanying or no?
So I'm interested to see what happened because she's been in a band for a long time with a bunch. Most of them are Spaniards, but we'll see what she does. We'll see what she brings this time.
Nice.
She got the guy who plays the cajon. And
Oh,
all that.
yeah.
So we'll see what she brings.
I like that.
But she does it all, and Seville, as you know, is a very fun place. So that's kind of cool. Just to run down some other things.
Top level highlights.
Yeah, I would say so. Richard Panchik, who's an author, he's just written a book called The Hidden History of Queens.
All right.
He will be discussing it at the Queens Historical Society on September 15th.
The
Apparently
hidden history.
It has stories about our past and sort of hidden gems and unexplored stuff. So that's
That'd be an
kinda
interesting book for us to pick up and kind of
I
read,
think
right?
I think I might go to that
Yeah,
event
I think I might go to that too.
just to get. It's not near where you live.
Yeah, it is. I
15th
really
at
have no
2:30.
excuse.
Yeah, right. We also have there's the Queen's Bird Club. We'll have on Wednesday on September 19th. A professor at Hunter College will talk about how birds learn how to make songs.
No kidding.
Yeah, the neurological stuff. That's kind of fun. And the Oratorio Society of Queens,
Yeah.
which is about 120 member choral society that just now it's never had an office space. It now has an office space at the Quinn Building in Astoria.
Oh, the
Where
Quinn
the Great
Building.
Astoria
Thomas
Historical
Quinn.
Society.
Yeah.
It's on
Broadway.
I think there's a funeral home there.
There is Katsumatidis. No, not Katsumatidis.
Something like that.
Yeah, Stopmidis funeral
Oh,
home.
Stamatides? George Stamatides
yeah.
has a funeral home?
Yeah, that's probably
okay.
it is, yeah.
And
It's right across the street from a really nice poke bowl place.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They're having auditions on the 17th.
Uh-huh.
If you want to learn how to make Bengali food, the Ali Pond Park Center.
What's Bengali?
There's the region.
I know about the Bengali tiger.
Well, that's
right?
you might be thinking of the Tamil tiger.
I heard that. I thought there was a
Well,
Bengali
there's a
tiger.
region of India which
It's India, right?
there's
Okay,
India,
yeah.
but there's also Bangladesh.
Right.
And these things aren't
So they're not the
human beings put in borders.
Right. There's
cultures-
these mesh, right?
Yeah. So if you want to learn, you
So
can
it's
learn how to make.
maybe a combination of Indian and
It's
Bangladeshi food?
all that food is kind of similar, right?
Very
I mean,
similar.
they're talking
I
about.
mean, to an outsider for sure. But
Yeah, they're making a traditional chicken curry, which actually and lentil soup or dal, and you
Okay.
can learn how to make their form of chai tea.
All right, cool.
Chai, by the way, is the Hindu word for tea. So when someone says chai tea, that's
Yeah,
it's like saying tea.
Right.
Yeah. It's like the La Brea tar pits. La Brea means tar in Spanish.
Oh, is that right?
So you're saying the tar pits. It doesn't make sense, right? And then the other thing is, have you ever heard of this film director called David Lowery?
No.
So have you heard of a new movie that's coming out called The Old Man and the Gun?
No.
It stars Robert Redford and Sissy Spacek.
Oh, okay.
Which means
Good,
that
fantastic actors.
Two people that have been in Hollywood since like the 1960s.
Easily, sure.
And now they're in a new movie. Anyway, he has this. He's the director of this movie. They're doing 4 movies that he's directed at the Museum of the Moving Image between September 14th and September 19th. I can tell you
I'm
the
sure
names.
he has a following.
Saint Nick. Have you heard that?
Nope.
Pete's Dragon. A Ghost Story and The Old Man and the Gun.
Got nothing.
No. Okay.
No. But listen, don't take it from me. I'm not a movie buff.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. Is there anything that I'm missing? Tell us a little bit about you.
No, listen. Who
are you and what are you doing here?
There's literally nothing interesting about me except
There's nothing interesting about you?
I'm a co-host of this podcast. That's literally one of my only claims to fame.
So we're not missing anything?
No, you're in good shape.
You guys don't know this, but I finished this really late today, and Chris hasn't actually seen it. So
No, but
he's
I was
looking at this.
It was
like,
news
all
to
right,
me.
Hit me. We'll do a little improv. It's improv night.
That's right.
At
Yes,
the It's
and
in Queens podcast. Anyway, thank you guys very much.
Don't forget to tell them where to find out where all the information is correct.
So all the information is correct. Is at www.itsinqueens.com. You could also follow us on social media at hashtag It's in Queens. Everything It's in Queens. It's in Queens. It's in
If you
Queens.
go, and also if you go to the events, hashtag your social media, it's in Queens, and we can find. I know you guys will pick a winner each week of the best photo of Queens.
That's another thing. If you guys have an Instagram account, if you ever post something to your Instagram account, just put the hashtag It's in Queens, and then we'll get the photo too.
Yeah, we'll retweet
There's
it.
a lot of local
out.
restaurants, a lot of restaurants in Queens, when they have a new special or something that looks delicious, they take a picture of it and post it on It's in Queens.
Yeah, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
become kind of like
It's a little thing.
a little food porn site.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, please do that because they're great photos that people take. It's grassroots, local level.
Right.
All right. I think that's about it.
That sounds
Chris,
good to
anything
me.
else?
I feel good about what we did here today.
We got a great week coming up. I don't know if it's better or worse than the U.S. Open, but it's definitely full jam packed of a lot of good events, enriching events.
That's right.
Great diversity.
Where are you going to find a small town like Queens having 27 different events from different countries?
Only in Queens.
That's it.
It's only in Queens. All right. Thank you guys, and I hope to see you in the borough this weekend.